I have a question for everyone watching. Have you seen a terrible TV show? Your least favorite one, the one you hate, the one that every time it comes on, you just want to punch the TV. Take that show, make it 10 times worse, 10 times less funny, and 10 times less interesting. And I think you have Attaway General. Now, if you don't know what Attaway General is, it's a show made by TikTokers. And it's really not that good. I don't have much to say about it other than the acting has less emotion than somebody who works at McDonald's. It's less funny than a 10-minute long video of someone punching a cat. And it's so boring that I think you might want to just cut off your own head by the time it's over. That might be painful, but it will be less painful than watching Attaway General. Okay, now all we have left to do is pick this show apart bit by bit, second by second, and figure out why it is so awful. So right off the bat here, we have some great foreshadowing. It's made by Brat TV, because all the characters in this show are brats.
The Teen Volunteer, or TV program, is what you make of it. The more you prove yourself, the more rewarding your time will be.
When will we get to observe in the ER?
The ER is usually reserved for third-year TVs. As first-year TVs, you guys will be on pediatrics. You'll help with clerical work, transpo, keeping patients company.
Yes. Babysitting. Great.
That's right, Georgia. Make them feel seen, heard, comforted, whatever they need. Got a problem?
Okay, so this is where we're introduced to our main cast of characters. I'll tell you their names now because they are all extremely forgettable. There is Georgia, the one on the left, Rose, the one next to her in white, Jack, the male, and Kit, the one writing down those scribbles in the corner. There is also the one in the middle, Miss Disappear, as I like to call her. You could also choose Miss Exposition, because those are the two things she does throughout this entire video. I'm calling it a video because it does not deserve to be called an episode of a TV show.
Jack.
Yeah, what time do we get off?
I'm gonna pretend like I didn't hear that. Oh, and if I so much as hear a phone on this floor, it's mine. And do not test me because I really need a new phone.
Boomer phone joke.
Ugh, this is gonna suck.
Now I know I didn't show you the entire thing, but what Jack just did here is said it's gonna suck having to leave right after he heard about a bus crash. Jack, you are a piece of crap. There was a bus crash, and you don't care that people could have died in a bus crash. You piece of crap. Now that intro, if you didn't think this show was bad, that intro probably proves to you how bad this show could be. Some random stock footage and filters to make random scenes look overdramatic. That's it. That's how you know this show is absolute garbage.
Jack and Rosie, you guys can help me upstairs with lunches. Kit and Georgia, there's a new shipment of donated toys in the shed. I want you to find them, sterilize them, and bring them to the pediatric wing.
The shed?
Well, I can see why they call this room the shed.
Come on.
Alright, so now we get into the meat of the show, what it's really about. The characters, the feels, all this stuff, right in the middle here. So, the group is given their assignments by the new person that showed up. Anyways, Kit and Georgia go to the shed, and Jack and Rose are going to help with lunches, I guess. Anyways, Georgia and Kit are all sad and gloomy, like broken hearts and broken souls here today. Really gets you, doesn't it? Anyways, they go to the shed, and Georgia is an idiot, says a sarcastic comment on why it's called the shed. Because it is a shed. Why would it by all intents and purposes, it's a shed. Why would you make a sarcastic comment? There's nothing to point out here. The shed. Trash comedy. Shut up.
Studies show we form lasting impressions about others within seconds of meeting. So I can't be with you in a closet when I meet Dr. Henry. He's the most brilliant surgeon in the state.
Unfortunately, he doesn't have the same accolades as a father.
Seriously? You're his daughter? You're so lucky you don't even know it.
You're giving me the impression I don't want to be in the same room as you.
Well, that's mutual.
If you're so advanced, why don't you go scrub in? Leave me be.
Maybe I will.
Now we also learn that Georgia is his daughter, and she doesn't like it very much. And a huge fight broke out. You could totally tell by all the emotion-packed words they were saying. You're so lucky you don't even know it. Yeah, you know that stuff. All that stuff. There was no emotion at all. That acting was absolutely terrible. Garbage. There was nothing happening there. And then Kit got mad and just walked out. It's your first day on the job. Don't you think you should actually be doing, what you're told to do instead of leaving? That's what I would do. I would just do what I was told. Anyways, these are both clearly horrible people that got angry over absolutely nothing, and it didn't even sound like they were angry because they are also terrible actors.
So, why did you volunteer to work at a hospital?
I got arrested. Beats juvie.
What did you get arrested for, Jack? You don't look like a hardened criminal. You look like you jaywalked on your way to get some Lego sets. Or maybe you stole some V-Bucks.
Oh, jeez.
Jack is probably the best actor in this show. Nay, the best actor in the entire world. That "oh geez" line is probably the best thing I've ever heard in my entire life. So whatever happened right there is actually never explained in this entire episode. Yeah, they just leave it at that. My personal opinion, I think this is another one of Jack's vandalism crimes. He decides to vandalize this hospital, the sacred place. Because did you know that he has been arrested? Because he has. And he vandalized this hospital. And his laughter was just a cover-up for one more intense crime.
Thanks. I'm Holden.
Kit.
The only interesting thing that happened there was Kit met a boy named Holden, who was in the bus crash. Holden D's nuts! God!
6-year-old female, 3rd-degree burns, possible smoke inhalation. We couldn't get a line in.
Give me a 24-needle norepinephrine. What else can I do?
Oh, you've done more than enough. You can go back to your normal duties.
Okay.
She's close to coding.
Come on. Show me a vein. Come on, sweetie.
Okay, so I'm no expert on 3rd-degree burns or even anything medical, but to me, the biggest thing on that girl's body was like a scrape on her arm and some holes in her shirt that seemed to be tugged on by some branches. Not 3rd-degree burns, not in the slightest. And also this prestige doctor, who is prestige, I'm not going to spoil who it is, but I assume you already know, but that prestige doctor can't find a vein. Did the veins just disappear? Show me a vein, show me a vein. Did the vein just disappear? How can you not find a vein? How is that possible? Stupid.
In prison, you're never supposed to ask about the crime.
Now I'm very disappointed in Attaway General not telling us Jack's backstory. Sinful. But you know what I think? I think Jack did something horrendous, like murdered 13 people or something crazy like that. And I bet the judge told him, hey, you could go work at Attaway General, or you could go to juvie. And knowing that it would be more torturous to work at Attaway General, the judge tricked Jack into working there instead. I guarantee he's a murderer, 100%.
It's actually really good. Let me show you. Mmm, delicious. Get ready for the choo-choo train. Chugga, chugga, choo-choo. How about the airplane?
So in the next part of this deep and complex story, Rose and Jack try to feed a little girl, a kid, and he isn't liking it too much. So he throws some food on them, and Jack gets mad. And you don't want to make Jack mad. Did you know he's been arrested? Because I know he's been arrested, and I know what he did. He'll murder you. There's actually a whole slew of problems with this scene, but I'm not going to go over them because there are a lot. This video is getting long and nobody really cares.
What are you doing?
Oh.
Don't come any closer.
I don't think that's gonna hurt anyone.
Depends where I put it.
You're new TV, aren't you?
Nicely done, Sherlock. Now, what are you doing? Do you always sneak up on people when they're sleeping?
Actually, I had a reason to be in here. Some of us have work.
Am I supposed to congratulate you?
If you want to.
Georgia's an absolute a-hole. Now, don't think I didn't notice what Will did. We'll get to that soon. But Georgia, you're sleeping on the job, and then someone walks in to do their job, and then you proceed to insult them, and you just be generally rude to them as they just try to do their job. But then, of course, he doesn't just try to do his job. He decides to hit on her, and they're both just terrible people. That's all I'm saying. They're both horrible. Oh yeah, Will. Also, if you looked like me, you would have a black eye and a free ride to the hospital. That's all I'm saying.
BP's too low. I can't find a vein. I need more hands. You, come here.
It's our first day.
Get over here. Come on. Grab on right below the elbow and squeeze as tight as you can. Now, don't worry about hurting her. Good. Minute longer. And we're in. Keep up the rescue breaths. Good job.
Kit,
Kit, I'm Dr. Henry.
I know, you're amazing. I read your book. It was amazing, and that was...
Yeah, amazing.
Okay. Number one. What Kit was doing there when she was holding, like, the back part of the vein, that was so the vein would pop out. I know this because I've had my blood drawn and they put a little armband and it pops out. Her finger was moving, and I don't know for sure, I'm not a doctor, I'm clearly a child, but when you press down hard enough, it's supposed to pop out, and I'm pretty sure you need a constant amount of pressure to make it stay out. Because if it goes away, it just goes back down, and Kit's finger was constantly moving, and she was only using one finger, so I don't think that would work. Thing number two. Dr. Henry was not amazing. Dr. Henry, all you did was aha by little shot. Young child with third-degree burns. You see this shot? It is water mixed with my piss, my magic healing piss. If I put this into you, your third-degree burns will magically disappear. You never see that girl again, by the way. So I'm just gonna assume she dies. I'm gonna assume Dr. Henry just killed her right there with his magic piss shot. That's all.
Oh, ho, ho! Give it up for Mrs. Claus! What happened to you guys?
We've had to deal with a demon. We can't leave until he eats, but we've tried everything. Everything.
Now, to me, all of Rose's lines just sound auto-tuned. Like, imagine if I talked like this for the entire rest of the recording. That is how Rose talks throughout all of her dialogue. It just sounds so unnatural and fake. That's all. It's so weird to me. Oh yeah, and also that little kid that they're trying to feed, he's 100% the best actor in the show. No hyperbole here. Just best actor. He just, like, when they call him a demon, he does a little smile, and just his face just lights up. So you know he enjoys it. That's just like, nobody else in the entire show does those things like that. It's so subtle and nice. Compared, like, Georgia does all the big movements with her head, and everyone else is just blunt and emotionless. It's just best actor. He's actually good.
Pick your poison.
That one.
Excellent choice, and you can have her. But first...
You've got to be kidding me.
Thank you.
You earned it, kid.
I don't even want to know.
Well, Miss Disappear shows up again for another appearance. And isn't she supposed to be helping people with the bus crash? Like, I don't think I showed it in the video, but she does say she leaves so she can go help with the bus crash. And, like, Holden's arm is still bleeding, so did she just leave? That's why she's Miss Disappear. I don't think she's actually helping. She just kind of leaves and does nothing, and then comes back for a little bit. Oh yeah, and also, Jack and Rose, your hair is out of the hairnets. I don't know if you know that, but that's like a sanitary issue.
Amazing. So first I stuck into the ER and there was this boy, he was bleeding everywhere. So I saved his life. And then Dr. Henry called me over out of all the nurses in the ER to help save this girl with 3rd-degree burns. It was crazy.
While you guys are patting yourselves on the back, your patients are still in critical condition.
So the gang meets up one last time before they leave, and Kit overshares about her day. Well, nobody else says anything. Because as we all know, Kit's life is the only one that matters and nobody else's does. And, and apparently, all of their patients are in critical condition. So that means the kid they were feeding is in critical condition, and that means the best actor in the show is in critical condition, and that means the best actor in the entire show will never show up again in the entire show. Ah!
Despite a few hiccups, you guys survived. Next week, try to be a little more professional. These will help.
Wow, this is so cool. I think we have to wear these every day.
I really hope so.
It has my name on it.
Yeah, Jack, it does.
And that brings our first episode of Attaway General to a close. It ends with them getting the rite of passage, their coats, so they don't get the blood of the innocent stained on their regular clothes. And it also ends with Jack acting like an absolute child. What names on it? He's the best actor of our generation, 100%. Anyways, that's it. If this video reaches 4 likes, which is actually less than half of my subscribers, then we'll start production on the second one. So please subscribe, and I'll see you then. So, Future X here. I just finished editing the video, and there were a lot of problems with it, not only audio and video, which I can't really change in my current state. Those are terrible, but nothing I can do yet. But there's also like structural problems. So forget the like goal of 4 likes, which I wasn't gonna get anyways. So just dislike. Why not? Just dislike. Don't forget to leave a mean comment. I'll make sure not to read them. And yeah, I'll start production on the other one as whenever I want, because you can't make me.